everybody, and welcome to my plus size grandma with Miss Coco Bowden. Um, y'all, it's kind of a chilly, cloudy day here in Candor, but I get lots of questions about what kind of diet am I doing, and how's it working, and how am I losing weight, and what am I eating to do it? What am I doing to do it? And I know it does look easy. I do know that. Um, but it's worth it. It's worth taking a listen to what I had to say, because I know that many others are out there trying and seeking and don't, you get to a certain point where you get disgusted and you lose momentum. And so I want to see if I can help somebody with that today on my plus size grandma with Miss Coco Bowden. Okay, so this is the deal, y'all. This is the real thing right here. Dieting is not easy. As a matter of fact, what I'm doing now, I know I said my low carb diet, but I don't even want to call it a diet. I want to call it a way of life, a way that I am living to promote what I really want in life, which is to be able to live pain-free and be active and to enjoy the things in life that I once couldn't enjoy in life because of my size. Now, to give you a little bit of history about just how far I've came, is I first started out weighing around 500. Well, the first time the scale could weigh me, it said 537. But before then, I had lost like 30, 40 pounds even before I got on that scale. So I was more close to 600 pounds. I was more close to 600 pounds. Excuse me, y'all, my allergies. I was close to 600 pounds. And what got me on this thing to lose weight is I looked at a video of me, and on this video I was singing and drinking and partying, and I noticed that it looked like I didn't have no neck. So it got my attention. It got my attention, and I decided to do something about it. So I did. My doctor had me on the low glycemic foods. We didn't call it a diet. We just said this is what this food does for you. And so to keep me from catching diabetes, which thank God to that, he put me on the low glycemic diet for years. I had been on that since 2005. No, 2007. I'm sorry. Because I didn't go on a diet till after my dad passed, which was 2006. Because I couldn't walk to the gravesite without assistance and a cane, and plus 4 people holding me up because I was so heavy. Not because I was breaking down, but I was so heavy. And I was sinking in the sand and stuff. But anyway, the thing is, once I got to that point that I knew I needed to do something, when my breathing started messing with me, I got where I would have to sleep with stacks of pillows up under me. I mean, like probably 6, 7 pillows a night. Heartburn was turning my tail up. It was just so many aches and pains in my body. So I started doing what he said, eating the food, but I wasn't active. Hold up. Let me see what's going on with this. I started eating the foods, but I wasn't active. I don't know what this thing is doing. I'm in my car, and so you hear this noise, it's doing what it should not be doing. Oh, God, I know what it did. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to keep talking. Despite what this car is doing, I think my battery just went dead. But anyway, the thing about dieting is that you have to, it has to be in your heart and your mind in order to achieve the goals that you really want to achieve when it comes to your health. And you have to look at it as not just dieting, but you have to see the bigger picture in life. What quality life am I losing by not tending to my health? And when you talk about health, you just can't talk about the physical part of your health. You have to talk about the mental part of your health too, because a lot of my weight was due to the mental things that was going on in my life. During that time, I was in a domestic violence relationship, and all this stuff is tripping in this car. I'm gonna have to get out. um, Due to domestic violence, I was mad with everyone. I had issues going on all around me, issues left to right that were just going on all around me, and that played a part in my weight, gaining weight. It wasn't that I was just sitting at a table eating all day. Half the stuff was stress. The majority of my weight was stress. It was stress related. It was issues that I had underlying causes, which was my issues, which was with depression and anxiety. And, people don't think that depression and anxiety can either make you lose too much weight or can make you gain weight. But what ended up happening after I lost the 200 pounds, no, 176 pounds. I lost 176 pounds on a low glycemic diet. I forgave everyone that I was upset with. I got out of that broken relationship. I got to hanging around more positive people. And, it was a mind thing. It was mental health, really. You have to do things that's best for your mind and that gives you peace and joy. Now, I'm not saying you're going to always have that, but the majority of your life should not be, where you're upset with people, where you're holding grudges. I held grudges for 10 years. And during that time, trying to avoid folks, it caused me to be so emotional that I was stressed out and gained a whole lot of belly weight and stuff. When you're stressed, you gain belly weight. So the next thing after I lost this 176 pounds, now this new thing that I'm on now, which is the low carbs, it's funny because I didn't set out like that. And I am a faith believer. I sure am. I'm a faith believer. So I believe God. If he tells me to move on something, I'm going to move on it. And at this time, I was going through the issues, the thing with my son, a whole lot of issues going on in my life. 2018 was the boiling point where it really got to my health really bad. But before then, 2017, I'm going backwards now. 2017 is when I started having the real financial struggle, which left me in depression. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I mean, I was getting 2 hours of sleep a day. And to go back a little further, in 2015, I did a bad business deal, which landed me financially broke. I mean, down to $0. I did a bad financial deal in 2015. Before that, in 2014, my dad passed. So here I am trying to deal with a lot of things. And y'all wonder what this got to do with losing weight. Well, it has a lot to do with losing weight. How you cope with things, how you deal with things, how you respond to things has a lot to do with your physical health. My dad passed in 2014. As a matter of fact, it was 5 years, like on the 25th, it was 5 years ago of this month. And when he died, I felt like I lost it all. I felt like anything that I had worth living for was already gone. I didn't see a bigger picture. I didn't see my life doing better. I saw my life going down. And I wanted it to go down because I had just lost the only man who knew me better than anybody. Better than anybody in this entire world. I lost the only man that I could go to for anything, any kind of advice. I lost the only man that I knew would hold my hand when I was scared. He would hold my hand when I was scared. He would laugh with me when I was celebrating. He would celebrate me. So I lost my everything when my daddy left. And I didn't realize how big of a chunk of my life it would take and how much my life was surrounded around my daddy. And when he died, issues came up about where he was buried at and stuff. And so I saw my dad buried in the wrong grave. And I tried to stop the people from putting them in the wrong grave. And when they started fussing with me and stuff, that's the moment I shut down. That's the moment I shut down, and I shut everybody out, including my own children. I shut everybody out. And so I've been living this whole time closed in with all those thoughts and emotions and wasn't getting to the underlying cause. Now, the reason why I take it back to then, because that's when I lost my eating. You know, most people eat when they're depressed and stuff. Well, not me. I stopped eating, and the only thing that I could get down in my system was Ensure. For 2 years, I was on Ensure. And because I was so stressed out, it caused me to have a bleeding ulcer and stuff. So it took me a long time to heal from that. So these last 5 years, I have mainly been eating mashed potatoes, any kind of vegetable that was easy to swallow, which was mainly mashed potatoes. I stayed on mashed potatoes. I mean, I rarely ever ate meat. And because I rarely was eating meat, everything I had, it had to be a vegetable. I didn't care if it was in the can. But restaurants, I didn't care to go to restaurants, and I didn't go to restaurants because I would just waste the food. So I mainly just stuck to eating mashed potatoes. And every now and then, you know, and during this time, I think I got back on sodas because after not drinking sodas for 15 years, I got back on sodas because that was the only way I could keep my sugar levels up because of that. But October 2018 was a changing moment for me when the doctor came in and said, if you don't start back eating and getting active and doing things, you might be dead in 5 years because your stress levels right now are so off the chart that it's messing with your heart. And I was like, wow. And he said, this is something that you can fix. This is something that's fixable, but you have to do it. And I said, well, what do I have to do? He said, you got to start exercising. You got to start eating right. And I was like, I don't have the mind to do all that. It's just too much going on. So what ended up happening was I said, well, Lord, show me the way. And then that's when it was, bam, right there. Put your team together. A team that's not made up of family. It's not made up of friends. But it's made up of people who will see the outside of what you're going through and be honest with you about where you're at in life. So that's when I started going to mental health, and that's when I got me a nutritionist. Now, this nutritionist and mental health, they work right there hand in hand together. I can't have one without the other. I can't deal with my mental problems without dealing with the eating problems with the nutritionist, and I can't deal with my eating problems without getting to the bottom of what's eating me mentally. So what happens is the two start working together now that I'm in therapy. Now I'm learning why I'm like this, why I couldn't say no, why I was so passive instead of responding back out to people, why I just shut down. You know, you have to get to the bottom of all of it. You're not just eating because you're eating. It's things that people have said to you. It's things that people have spoken over your life. It's things that you have been through, the things that you could not tell nobody, that is eating you to death. And because it's eating you to death, it causes you to gain weight or lose weight. It causes you to overeat or undereat. Either way, your mental being is the first thing you have to correct, or at least start to correct, before you can go into a weight loss journey and not let it just be a couple months, but let it be, with endurance and strength and longevity. For me, I've been doing this now. I've been losing weight now since 2006. To me, it's not a competition. Don't get in it for competition unless you are in a competition. You